When it comes to Bitcoin custody, multisig can be an exponentially more secure way to store Bitcoin. The problem is, without trusting an Uncle Jim, a company like Unchained or Nunchuck, creating a multi-signature is pretty complex. The solution is a tool called Caravan. My name's Darren, I've helped thousands of people use Bitcoin, and in this video I'm going to cover what Caravan is, creating a new multi-sig vault, connecting your keys, transacting in Caravan, and security tips and tricks along the way. Caravan is one of the easiest ways to create a multi-sig wallet, spend and receive Bitcoin all anonymously. Caravan is free, open source with many contributors. Now, if you're new to Caravan, I'm going to talk a little bit about why multi-signature is important. If you understand that, you can skip right ahead to the tutorial. So when you store Bitcoin on a wallet, it is called a single signature. You have one key to send Bitcoin to somebody else. The problem is, if you ever lost that one key, it is smashed, somebody stole that key, your Bitcoin can be gone forever. So there's no redundant backup there. What Caravan allows you to do is connect multiple keys to create quorums, where you can have a wallet that has 2 keys every time you want to send Bitcoin, or 3 keys. Caravan is what's called a multi-sig coordinator. It talks to the Bitcoin network with your keys to transact Bitcoin. Now, Caravan is stateless. It is accessible only via browser, but it does not store your multi-sig information, your key information across each session. What you'll need to get started is a bare minimum of 2 keys already set up, or 2 wallets. Now, Caravan supports these types of wallets. I recommend using Caravan on a computer instead of a mobile device, as many of the supported keys on Caravan or wallets aren't very well supported on a mobile device. First step is to go to caravanmultisig.com. This will bring you to the home page. To get started with a new wallet, we're going to press the wallet button. The first steps is to name your multisig vault if you choose to. Next step is to choose the quorum. Now, quorum is very important in the multisig. For example, in a 2 of 3, you have a total of 3 keys, in which 2 are needed at all times to move Bitcoin elsewhere. In a single signature, you just have 1 key that could be lost, could be stolen. So there's a multitude of quorums that you could create. Only having 1 key is very vulnerable to theft. Having a full quorum of 5 of 5, 2 of 2 is vulnerable to loss. If you lose one of those, your Bitcoin can be gone forever. The sweet spot can be a 2 of 3, gives you multiple redundancy. Anything more than that is just more complexity for you to take care of. You can choose the address type. Pay to script hash is what I'm going to start with. That's how it's defaulted. You can choose if this is just testnet or mainnet Bitcoin. Mainnet is obviously where real Bitcoin is. And you can choose the Bitcoin client. So if you ever had the question of how do I connect my own node, this is what you would do, and follow your own node's information here and test the connection. I'm going to choose mempool.space, and I'm going to get started in uploading my keys. For that, we're going to need 3 keys. Today I have a Coldcard, a Ledger, and a Trezor. Now, in order to plug in your devices, you will need a USB cord. I will show you the Coldcard with the air-gapped SD card. I'm going to start first with the Trezor. You can change the bit path. This is how addresses are generated. I recommend having Trezor Suite open at the same time. So once we've opened Trezor Suite, the next step is to plug in our device. This is how Caravan talks to your Trezor. Trezors need the bridge or Trezor Suite as a software in between. So I've already set up my wallet. My wallet should be ready for use here. We are going to press import extended public key. This will bring up the Trezor Connect window. We are going to allow this once for this session. We are going to export the public key of our Trezor. You're safe now to unplug your Trezor. Next one we're going to export into is the Ledger. So for Ledger, well, we don't need to have Ledger live on at once. It will ask us for our PIN if we've set one on our computer. It will ask us if we want to connect our Nano. We're going to press allow, and we are going to choose Ledger on Caravan. And especially on your Ledger, we always want to ensure we choose the Bitcoin app until it says Bitcoin is ready, and then we can export extended public key. It will bring us up the Nano S Plus. That's my version. And now on your device is where you're going to confirm the public key on the Ledger, confirm that bit path we've chosen, and we're going to approve it. So now we've added that public key, to our Multisig vault. Lastly, we are going to import the XPub of the Coldcard here. Now, I'm going to keep this air-gapped. So next step is to power up our Coldcard. Recommend plugging it directly into a wall, as if you plugged it into your computer, it would lose the air gap. So we're going to put in our pin of our Coldcard. We are going to plug in our SD card, and the home screen will bring us to ready to sign. We are going to head over to settings at the bottom, Multisig wallets, export XPub. The account number is 0, that is M45, that is the default address type, and we are going to press the check button. Now the unchained file has been written to the SD card. Back to our main menu of our Coldcard, we can now eject the SD card, and we're going to plug it directly into our computer. We're going to press upload the XPub button, cloud icon, .json file, or that XPub, ready to open. So now my wallet is created. I can download the wallet details. This is very important in case we ever lost this, how to regenerate it. If we close the browser, this is what we need to do. So we're going to download this. This will be a .json file of my 2 of 3 multisig that I set up, and I'm going to press confirm. We'll load the wallet details. All right, so this is the tour of that multisig wallet we created in Caravan. Here is all of our address we've used. This is how we receive, and the address is associated with our vault, and we can send with this button. So again, I've already downloaded the wallet configuration, but if you haven't already, definitely recommend. This is essentially the blueprints to your multisig vault. This is the way to recreate your vault, to connect all of your 3 keys together to bring them back to this vault if you ever closed out your browser, if you ever reopened it. So we're going to download this. It is not a risk of your funds, as they would need your keys to move Bitcoin. But if they had this file, the technical capabilities, they would be able to recreate how much Bitcoin you may or may not be storing. So just save it where you would save other important files. Let's just say you weren't ready to send Bitcoin yet to this wallet, and you refreshed Caravan or headed back to the home screen, close your computer out. We're going to have to import that wallet configuration file that we created earlier to use Caravan. There's one thing we should do to complete setup of our multisig vault. What we are going to do is register our wallet here on our devices. So your ledger and your Coldcard both need to have the details of this wallet stored on the device for them to sign. This is where we're going to be plugging in our ledger. We're going to select Bitcoin is ready, and then we are going to pair it with our browser. It'll ask us to register the wallet. Are you sure we want to register my vault name with this device? I'm going to check approve. This goes through all the keys, and it is done once it says Bitcoin is ready. At this point, you're safe to unplug your ledger. Next, we're going to download the Coldcard configuration file for Coldcard to have the ability to sign from this wallet. So we're going to download this. This is a .txt file. We're going to save it to that SD card that we had before. Now we can eject the SD card and put it into our Coldcard. So we're going to plug in the SD card. We are going to go down to settings, multisig wallets, and we're going to press import from file, and we're going to choose this vault that is listed here. It'll ask us if we're sure we want to add this wallet, multisig vault, and we are going to save it to our Coldcard. From there, you're good to just deconnect your Coldcard. Before we send Bitcoin to this address, we are going to confirm it on our device. So this will give us that address information here. We're going to press confirm on device. This ensures that we have access to our Bitcoin that we are about to send, that our ledger, Trezor, Coldcard has the ability to send Bitcoin from this address. I'm going to select the one that I know is the ledger, and I'm going to press confirm on device. So it's going to say receive in known wallet. We're going to ensure this is the one that matches on our approve that, and that was a success. Only need to do this with one device. Next step is I'm going to send Bitcoin directly from my exchange to this wallet. I'm going to use a QR code scanner to send Bitcoin here. Now that I've sent the Bitcoin to this address from my exchange, it will populate as a pending deposit here in green in the top left-hand corner. You can see the details by clicking on this bit path. and you can actually choose that UTXO or deposit that came in, and it will link you directly to that pending transaction on mempool. Once the transaction confirms on the mempool, your BTC balance will fully change to the amount you sent. Now that my Bitcoin has confirmed on the network, you'll see your Bitcoin balance change. From this point is when you can send Bitcoin off this multisig wallet you created. Next step, I'm going to show you how to send from your multisig vault. We're going to click on the Send tab and paste in the destination address that I've already copied from somewhere else. And you can choose max or type in the amount you want to send. This manual toggle will allow you to select your UTXOs manually if you have multiple deposits to this vault. If not, it will automatically select the UTXOs for you at hopefully the cheapest fee rate. Now for fee rate, definitely recommend looking up the fee rate first of what the current fees are. This will default a rate for you on the current mempool. When it comes to a multisig vault, definitely recommend having higher fees than normal. When sending on the Bitcoin network, the data you're sending is what you are paying for, and multisig has more data associated with each transaction. And if you get stuck with a low fee, it's also hard to fee bump, child pays for parent, RBF from a multisig transaction. So go with a higher than normal fee than you previously would use. Once we're ready, we can sign the transaction with our keys. This will require getting 2 of the 3 wallets that we chose previously. So this one was our Trezor. You're going to choose the model and press sign. At the same time, we are going to have Trezor Suite open and our Trezor plugged in. This will bring up the Trezor Connect window, and we are going to allow for this session. This is how Trezor connects to Caravan, and we're going to follow the instructions on the device. We'll confirm the transaction and the address that's going to be sending from the wallet that we have connected. You'll hold both buttons to sign, and this signature is complete. We'll now choose the second key, and I'm going to show you how to do it on a Coldcard via air-gapped with that SD card. So we're first going to download the partially signed Bitcoin transaction. We are going to then take this transaction and drag and drop it onto our Coldcard on our computer via File Explorer. Now that we've taken that file and put it into our memory card, we can insert it into our Coldcard. We'll press Ready to Sign. It's going to bring up what we are signing from what wallet, to whom we are signing, and we are going to confirm that signature. Once it is signed, you are safe to unplug your SD card, put it back into your computer. We're then going to upload this file back to Caravan. And we now have 2 signatures for this transaction. We will press Broadcast Transaction, and the transaction has now been broadcasted to the network. Your balance will remain the same until your transaction has been successfully added into a new block on the network, and then your balance will change to 0. You can always upload this file to see all of your transaction history in the future if you don't use it again. In the 2 of 3 multisig quorum that we created, there are 6 pieces for you to secure, plus your wallet configuration file. You have 3 wallets or devices hosting your keys with the backups to your keys. So in total, we have 7 pieces to secure. If you ever lost one key, you're totally fine, as you can move Bitcoin in this 2 of 3 transaction. If you were to lose these pieces, you would still be okay because the seeds are still in the backup of your vault. Even if you lost the seed phrases, you still have them in the devices to sign with Bitcoin, but this is extremely risky as these pieces can malfunction from time to time. So the seed phrases are the most important in your 2 of 3 multisig vault. So at minimum, we need 2 of either the backups or the keys in order to move Bitcoin, or it will be lost forever. Right now, we created pretty much a more complex single signature, as all the pieces are in front of me on a desk. Somebody could take all of these and run away with our Bitcoin. So ideally, we want to separate all of these pieces out. The seed phrases at a minimum. Anyone was ever get one of these keys, there's nothing they could do unless they had the other to move the Bitcoin. So that is how you use Caravan, the stateless, anonymous, open source multisig software. If you would like help in creating a multisig vault, if it's right for you, inheritance planning, I definitely recommend a company like Unchained. It will make multisig a lot easier, and you can rely on a third party for that redundancy or backup. They also have a team of specialists that can walk you through setting up a multisig and connect your multisig vault to financial services such as buying and selling Bitcoin or storing Bitcoin under an IRA. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them, or message me directly. If you like this video, I have lots of other videos on how to buy Bitcoin, store Bitcoin, and use it properly. And thanks for watching.